Hey people, if you ever want to make something known, you turn up the audio on it. Let everybody hear it. Audio is said to come from the old Latin audire, to hear, became audio. And so you can see here, A-U-D-I-O-E. Will make known, turn up the audio, turn up the audio. And so most of the A words that I read, if you read them backwards, you'll see it's the correct translation. And I've been wondering, if it's always like that, because I have been noticing some words that are correct, the audio. And I noticed this A doesn't have any markings on it. And so I'm still studying and working on it. But it's possible that this word has just evolved from the Latins who didn't understand the secrets. Possibly an ancient word that read backwards, and the word has evolved into audio. But you can see the other part of that word here, that the dibber, they say is the word. And then you hit this line in diary. D-I-R-Y, the word in diary, and then backwards starts with A, to make to. The word in diary, make to. And so the base word of this, is will make, and it's a bunch of words. They say the base word is just da, and it's probably D-O. You see it, D-O, or actually D-D-O. Did see, D-D-O, did see, or no. And this is surely where the word howdy come from. In that movie I did yesterday, I showed where, D-O means to give or gave. Who gave. But it comes up, as in will make or will I make known, just A-U-D-I-O, audio. And this is probably where that word based from in Psalms here. Because you see it comes after this line. And so it means that the word it read before this was either here or here, depending on whether this was the end of the line or not. Sometimes they add things in there you don't know. And, it's from skill, from S-K-I-L, from skill latin, has or high, and then has, and turns around, dish, yadi, handy, I-D-I. Has dish handy, you howl, U-E-O-W-L, howl. And then backwards, to vav, tuum less. You howl tuum less. And then it starts with A, it reads backwards, the rise, and a ladder, LDR, to door, to rise, a ladder to door. And then it reads backwards here, and it's RD, read to, riddle, arise, from low, M-L-U-O, from low. The way yods, higher raises, yods is ID, the hands, higher raise, and then A-E is E-S, higher raises. Entail, licks. From C, the hand connected knowledge. From C, the hand connected power. And then backwards starts with an A. And so it's the K. And the line says you go back to the other side. So it's the came when take. The came when took. And then in pie, in mouth. And so, there's two possibilities. One of them is this word evolved for people who didn't realize you read A words backwards. Or the other one is, no markings are a sign that it doesn't read backwards. It's not often you see a word begins with an A without some kind of braille, some kind of markings on it. But I'm having to figure all this out as I go along, so it's a future. I will know in the future. I'm not going to quit. But the best possibilities, best chances are that they did this purposely to throw people off that didn't understand. Audio had always meant the sound, and you could see the knowledge connected to give, and that one that ended with the E, is the knowledge connected, the do life, to give life. And so the secret is, the people in the know this, to see the hand connected knowledge, OID, see hand connected knowledge. When the politicians are talking, they're saying one thing out their mouth, out their audio, but they have secret sign language to see the hand connected knowledge. So this, when somebody makes a deal with you, and he says, "You got my word," that's why you reach out and shake his hand, to make sure he doesn't have his fingers crossed back there. But this is why I run into this in Isaiah. And I was looking for more of those devil words, and I run into a word I was searching for, and a habit had me go read from the top. But this, you can see, is audio life. And of, AV, of, the DO, to give, life, it was all created with the word. Let me tell, the audio life. And so the whole book's written like that. It's written, for one class of people to read one way, and another class of people to know the alchemical secrets and know how to pull the secrets, how hand connect knowledge. So I had read this poem here, the Song of the Vineyard. I think I was trying to get down to line 17, start at the top here. And it was pretty easy to tell it was a really bad translation. It's actually a poem about the wash it too, WASHIT. And so it was designed for people that didn't know to read it, to wash it too. But actually it turns around backwards here. The wash it is of wet to. The wash it is of wet to. And so, the wash is, what comes from behind the boat. And the wash is the end cycle. But this is actually talking about the actual wash. It is wet to. And that means, just recently washed. It's still wet. The wash is wet to. And I was able to figure out where the word battle come from in this. And so I'm going to cut this off here, and I'm going to start working on this. I'm going to read these 7 lines straight through and get most of it. And there's often some words that don't make sense, and that's why, because there's 2 different writings here. Sometimes I'm possibly reading the wrong direction and having the wrong word in the wrong line, because it's 2 poems, one under the other. So, hooty hoo, hooty hoo. Good day.